Lightning is a fresh, modern, user-friendly interface for Salesforce with powerful new features. We've used them to make the end-to-end process from lead creation to opportunity closure easier and more efficient. In this video, we will walk you through the new process in real time so you can see how the system has been set up to guide you and protect our data quality. But first, let's look at a few golden rules for using the new system. There are new and more informative prompts and advice. If you see messages, please read them carefully. They are there to help you. You don't have to search for or create accounts and contacts separately before creating a lead. This will save you time and improve data quality. And finally, the new lead conversion check makes it easy to add mandatory information. It also adjusts to each division as to avoid confusion. But before we look at Lightning, here's a summary of key process changes that make life easier. In the old Salesforce, you had to spend time searching for existing accounts and contacts and creating any that were missed before you can create a lead. It could have been easier to spot the mandatory information you needed to convert a lead to an opportunity. In Salesforce Lightning, when you pick an existing or create a new lead, the search for contact and account is now embedded within the process, saving you time and reducing the risk of errors. The new conversion check shows you the missing mandatory fields and presents fields you can type straight into. Right, now let's jump into Salesforce Lightning and show you how everything works. In most cases, a lead will be sent directly to you by marketing or other channels. To action these, simply hit leads at the top of your screen in Salesforce Lightning. We can then change the view to view all open leads. Let's choose a lead that has not yet been contacted. You'll see the system now prompts you to attach a contact and account first. This is the same flow I'm about to show you in this video. So let's go ahead and show you the lead creation tool. So you're ready to create a lead in Salesforce Lightning. To begin, hit the Leads button at the top of your screen, and then navigate to the New Lead Creation button in the top right next to your Quick Actions. This may be found in a downward arrow for some users. The system now prompts us to search for the contact and account before creating the lead. We know we spoke to a gentleman called John Smith at the London Biscuit Company. So let's first search for the contact, type in John Smith, and hit Next. This is a powerful search tool that is searching for John Smith on all of the fields you see at the top of the table, which is why we can see other names. You can further refine this list by typing in additional information into your secondary search bar. So let's type in London and hit Enter. You'll notice the list is now filtered by only those contacts in London. Looking through this list, we can't see a John Smith at the London Biscuit Company, so we go ahead and hit Contact doesn't exist, and hit Next. That's not to say the account also doesn't exist, so we're now going to search for the London Biscuit Company, and hit Next. We can see that there were no results found, so we're going to safely say that the account doesn't exist, and hit Next. We're now asked to fill in information about the lead, so once again, we're going to type in John Smith, as well as the contact address. Please note this is the contact address, not the account address. You'll notice that there are some red asterisks against certain fields. This is the minimum mandatory information to save and move on. However, if you have the information available to hand, we would always recommend you fill it in as soon as possible. And lastly, we will select the stream and set the close date to the last day of the month in the respective month we expect the opportunity to close. Once we're ready, we're going to hit Next. We're then prompted with a screen which tells us we need to create the account in D&B before moving on. So we can click this button here to move to D&B. You notice doing so has opened a new tab at the top, and the original tab has remained open. We'll come back here later. Nothing has changed in the D&B tool, so we can type in the London Biscuit Company, as well as the country, and the search results appear. You can further refine by using the filters on the left-hand side. You notice in our case there are 3 results appearing. Also at this stage, if you see an account with a little Salesforce cloud, you may have missed the account in the previous search. If that's the case, close off of this tab and hit Next on the previous tab. In our case, the address and sum is exactly the same, but we know there are 9 employees and a relatively high turnover. So we can see that there are 9 employees and 250,000 USD in turnover. So we can safely say it is the top account. To choose this account, click Create. Doing so, D&B has now pre-populated a lot of information for you. So we can simply hit Save. And you can see the account has now been created. We can safely close this tab by clicking the X and going back to our original tab. We can now hit Next, and the system will prompt you to search for the account you've just created. And there is the account we just created. Hit the little circle on the left and hit Next. And you can see the system has now created both a lead and contact for you as well. So we're going to go into the lead record. Once in the lead, you can see that the readiness is set to cold, letting us know that certain information needs to be populated before we can convert to an opportunity. An easy way to complete the fields required for conversion is to click the conversion check button in the top right-hand corner. Doing so, you'll see that we need to complete the impartiality review and add an activity. We also need to do the preferred email. Because we selected healthcare at lead stage, we're asked to fill in some additional information. This will vary depending on the stream you select. You'll notice red text is starting to disappear. So let's next complete the impartiality review, clicking the button in the top right. We haven't yet completed the impartiality, so we're simply going to hit In Progress, and then type in as much information as possible into your impartiality notes. Please note this must be completed before the proposal is sent to the client. We then need to log an activity. To do so, hit the Activity tab on the right-hand side, and then we can amend the system-generated activity by selecting Contact Lead. As a minimum, we need to select the status as completed, and change the type and purpose to reflect how we spoke to the client. We would also recommend in the comment section that you fill in as much information about your conversation as possible. And once you're done, hit Save. There we go. To navigate back to the lead, simply hit the name of the contact at the top. Having filled in this information, you'll notice the readiness is set to hot, letting us know the lead is ready to convert to an opportunity. To convert, hit the Convert button in the top right-hand corner. At this stage, we can also choose to amend the currency. Once you're ready, hit Convert. Once you have converted your lead to an opportunity, you will be moved to the account screen. To navigate to the opportunity you have just created, you'll see there is a list of opportunities on the right-hand side. In our case, there is only one, however, in your instance, there may be multiple, in which case you may need to select View All, or we can simply hit the link. Now in the opportunity, it's very easy to change stage. Simply select the correct chevron at the top and mark as current stage. And we've moved to Solution Building. At this stage, we can now complete the impartiality review. So once again, hit Complete Impartiality Review. We now know there is no risk, so we can select Confirmed No Risk, and Confirmed No Risk, the attached form. The system will now ask you to attach the impartiality review document.
What the golly, puppy?
And select Continue. If we now go into our notes and attachments, you can see that the impartiality review document is now appearing, and it has been renamed Impartiality Review Document. At this stage, we now need to add a quote. So as before, we're going to go to our quick action bars and select New Quote. Nothing has changed in the quote configuration, so I'm going to skip to a quote that was prepared earlier. Now that we have our quote, you'll notice that steps 1, 2, and 3 have not been changed. Step 4 for users that already use Conga and DocuSign has equally not changed. For those users who are not yet using Conga and DocuSign and send proposals offline, this is what you need to do. To let the system know that the proposal has been generated and sent offline, simply click the buttons Generate Offline Copy and Offline Copy Sent and hit Save. Doing so, you'll notice the stage has automatically changed to Proposal Sent, and the proposal sent date set to today. Assuming the client then goes ahead and signs the proposal offline, we can now select Contract Signed Offline by Client and hit Save. Doing so, the system will now prompt you to attach the signed agreement. And once again, if we go into Notes and Attachments, you'll see that the signed agreement is appearing, and it has been renamed Signed Agreement. If we now proceed into the opportunity, at this stage we go to the close winning process. This may be handled by operations or yourself, in which case click Close and select Close Stage. And done. Just bear in mind, you will need to do all of your due diligence checks before you do so. Thank you for watching this CRM Up Best Practice bite-sized video. We hope you found it useful.